What's up, everybody? It's Dan Greer with Leading from the Middle of the Pack, and today we're going to be chatting all about why you shouldn't be a taker, okay? Why you got to give in order to get. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into this, and there's just tons and tons and tons of information on this, and I'm going to share just a morsel with you to get you just a little bit excited about it. So, cue up the theme song. We'll be right back in just a second. The big question is this. How are leaders, like us, who aren't necessarily in a management position, who go out and get our hands dirty, who are ready to answer their calling from God to lead, who are driven to learn and grow, gain the trust and respect of those around us, to actually be heard while not coming across as an authoritative prick? These are the questions, and this is the podcast that will give you the answers. Hi, my name is Dan Greer, and welcome to Leading from the Middle of the Pack. Sweet! I'm so glad that you guys are still here. So if you listen to my last podcast, it was all about like vulnerability and it was a little bit lower tempoed. So I hope that you guys liked it. Today, we're going to be talking all about like how you have to give in order to get and how you need to be a giver, right? And you don't just need to be a taker. So I think there's a lot of people in this world. Okay, I know there's a lot of people in this world that are just takers. They just take. They take advantage of you. They take advantage of other people. And I got news for you, okay? If you're a taker, like literally evaluate your life right now and say, am I a taker or am I a giver? Do I suck energy out of people? Do I constantly ask for more? Am I never satisfied? Do I expect to get without giving anything in return? And if you're that type of person, like you probably don't want to listen to the rest of this podcast. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Or maybe you do want to listen to it and you want to be like, oh man, that Dan's not as dumb as he looks. Right? If you're listening to the podcast or if you're watching it, you know I'm as dumb as I look because I look pretty dumb, right? You know, I'm kidding. Okay. But my point about this is like, so I had this huge favor to ask of somebody the other day, and I called him. I was like, "Hey, do you think there's any chance that I could insert huge favor and like I don't want you to do it for free. I don't just want you to do this and expect nothing in return. What can I do for you? Right? How can I do this for you to make it better for both of us? Long term. I don't want you to just give this to me. What can I do for letting me borrow this from you, right? And I got to tell you, this person gets asked for a ton of stuff because they're pretty well off. They're pretty well known, right? And you know what they said? This is exactly what he said. He goes, Dan, I've had a lot of people ask me for a lot of stuff. Nobody in the history of them asking me for stuff has ever said, what can I do to make this right for you? How can I make it worth your time to do this? You know what they've all said? They've all said, well, you've got enough. Give me some of what you've got. You're the first person ever that said, hey, I know that I want to make this worth your time. What can I do to make it worth your time? How can I serve you? What can I do? How can I do this? Right? What can I do for you? And it was unreal, the response I got out of it. And we ended up making this really great deal. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because it doesn't matter. But the point is I didn't come in with the intention to take. And I'll be honest with you, I used to be a taker, 100%. I used to be like, okay, well, you got plenty. What are you doing flying first class? Everybody in the company should be flying first class. No, they shouldn't. You lucky you're flying, not driving, right? Be grateful that they're there. And yes, the owners of the companies, the leaders, they should be upgrading. They really should. And you necessarily shouldn't be. And if you're a leader of a company, you should be saying, do I really need to upgrade? Right? Like, I can tell you that we're on the thing of upgrades. I get upgraded a lot whenever I fly commercial, just because I fly so much and I spend so much money on our company credit cards that I get kickbacks from that. I get bonuses of getting upgrades all the time. Okay. Check out our Docs tumblers. They're so awesome. I love our swag, man. Anyways, my point is like you can't just take all the time. Okay, you got to give. You got to be willing to give back. So I've got, man, I got this other guy that he worked for me for a while, and he was a taker. He would rob from me emotionally. He would rob from me time. He would rob from me and say that he just wanted more all the time. Like, it's not really robbing to say that you want more, right? That's not what robbing is. But he was never saying, what can I do to make myself better, to get more, to be worth more, to make more money here? He just said, oh, you give me $1 raise? How about 2? And I was like, sure, I'll give you a $2 an hour raise, because I was going to give you $1 an hour now and $1 an hour later. So you got $2 an hour raise. But then you don't get another raise for like a year because you didn't prove yourself after that, right? Like, it's takers. Takers don't progress forward. They don't progress forward in life. They don't progress forward in anything. If you're a taker from your relationship with the Lord, right? You're always taking him. You're not saying, God, how can I serve you? How can I give back to you? What can I do? How can I make things better for you? How can I serve you, right? Do you think he's going to continue to give you and make everything fruitful, and you're going to continue to just be ultra successful throughout your life? The answer is no. Like, not even close. Like, not even at all. You have to be willing to come in and go, how do I serve you? What can I do for you? And then that's how that relationship with divine creation, our relationship with like ultimate, infinite intelligence grows, is because we go, how do we serve you? Right? So as leaders, what we want to be doing is we want to say, how do we serve our people? How do we serve the people we're leading? If you're a preacher, okay, you should be saying, how do I serve my congregation? If you're a team lead, you should be saying, how do I serve my team? If you're a business owner, how do I serve my clients and my employees and my vendors? How do I serve everybody? If you're a husband, how do I serve my wife? If you're a father, how do I serve my kids? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not about how do I make more money? How do I get to a higher status? How do I progress? How do I get that connection? That's not it. That's not it. That's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is, how do I serve somebody else from this level to this level? How do I move them up? And then after I get to this level, how do I serve them to this level? And we continue to move our way up. How do we serve them higher and higher and higher until we're serving them at the highest level possible? And then guess what happens? Do you want to know what happens? There's another level. And we can move up another level and serve them even higher. So to begin with, whenever we first start learning something, okay? So I've got some kids that are entering the workforce. And they're not thinking about this. They're thinking, how do I make money? And I said, quit thinking about how do I make money and think about how do I serve other people. And you know what they said? You know, my oldest said, he's like, Dad, that's ingenious. If I want to get a job at the wildlife office, I have to figure out, how can I serve them? What can I do? What skill can I provide them that they don't have? If I want to get a job with a rehabilitator, what skill can I give him? How can I serve him in a way? Do I need to go build cages? Do I need to make a trip to Idaho to pick up a bird for him? Like, how can I serve him more so that they want me to be in their team? If you're in marketing, you should be thinking about, like, how do I serve not only my employer by growing their brand, but how do I serve our clients by giving them more of what they need? Do you see how the service-based mentality, being a giver, not a taker, is huge, right? So I had this lunch with a guy the other day. Super awesome guy. Great guy. Absolutely loved our lunch. It was phenomenal. It was great. I know I eat a lot of lunches with people. That's why I'm fat and sassy. But again, check out this Docs tumbler. It's a shaker. It's so cool. Okay. Anyways, my point is I was having lunch with this guy, and throughout the conversation, he was constantly asking me questions, right? Oh, boom, boom. And he was just like hammering me with questions. And I would answer the questions. I didn't have any problem about it. And when we got done with lunch, you know what I said to myself? Like, we got done. I paid for lunch. We walked out the restaurant. And you know what I said after he left? I was like, well, I guess I don't need to go with lunch with him again anytime soon. You know why I said that? Do you know why? Because he took the whole time. When he was pelting me with questions, they were not like questions that were, oh, how's your wife and kids? They were questions that were trying to get information from me the whole time. And then to top it off, dude didn't even buy me lunch. Like, always offer to pay for lunch. Even if you're flat broke, take the cash out of your pocket, take your credit card out, figure out how to do it. If you're getting information from somebody else, don't sit there and be like, well, he'll pay for it. No, it's not what you want to do. You want to be the exact opposite of that person. You want to be, oh, yeah, I got this. No, it's not me. I invited you to lunch. Let's go. I got this. Oh, I answered a ton of your questions. Oh, I asked you a ton of questions. Let me buy you lunch. Right? That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Okay? So I want to encourage everybody, if you're listening to this, I want you to think about how you can serve others, number one. And number two, I want you to think about, if you're a taker, how do I stop being a taker and start serving? Start making that change today. Now, I know that somebody's listening to this and they just got a little upset because I was like, you're a taker. And it offended you that I called you a taker. Sorry. Not really. I'm sorry that I offended you. But I'm not really that sorry. Because if you got offended that I called you a taker, then you are a taker. And you're not giving back to this at all either. Right? Does that make sense to you? How do you give back to a podcast? Let me ask you that question. Right? So let's think about this. We're talking about how do we give back. This is a very unique situation. How could you give back to a podcast? I don't ask for money. I don't ask for you to sponsor this. I don't even have advertisements in this, which I probably should. Right? But I don't. How do you give back to a podcast? What do you think? You share it. When it's something you like, you share it. You go, hey, you need to hear this. Hey, you should listen to this. Hey, this is cool. Hey, here it is. Right? And you know how I give back to people who share the podcast? I give them some love. I give them a shout out. I'm like, hey, this is awesome. Good job. Right? And I like comment on their Facebook posts or their social media posts or Instagram or LinkedIn or wherever they share it. Right? And it works out really well. And I give back to them. And then all of my followers, how many of you have on LinkedIn at the moment? Last time I checked, it was like 20,000. They look at their post. And so this person gets this huge surge because they commented with my name on it and I commented back. Right? We're like, dude, you're the bomb. Something crazy. Do you see how serving your tribe, how serving your clients, how not being a taker makes such a big difference? Because when you're a taker, nobody wants to be around you. Do you want to be around a taker? Do you want to be around a thief? Do you want to be around somebody that robs you of everything? Somebody who doesn't do anything to make themselves any better? Like, if you look back on this podcast, you can see the overarching theme that we've had, that's service. You have to serve. Not yourself. Don't serve yourself. Serve others. When you serve others, you're successful. When you say, yeah, this is going to work out great. I'm going to serve you. I'm going to figure out how to serve you. I'm going to figure out how to deliver more. There's some of you right now that are listening to this podcast that are going, okay, Dan, I'm not a business owner. Okay, great. Awesome. I love it. I wasn't a business owner for a really long time. Okay, Dan, I'm not entrepreneurish. Great. I still don't know if I'm entrepreneurish, right? But you're sitting there and you're doing all this stuff. You're thinking all this, Dan, I'm not a leader. Bull crap. We've been through that. Everybody in life is a leader to somebody. There's somebody who looks up to you. Even if it's just your dog, there's somebody that looks up to you, okay? So I'm going to call the BS meter on that one. Then there's people that are like, Dan, I am a leader, but I don't know how to give back to my team. How do I do it? We all work. We all get paychecks. I can't give them a raise. Raises aren't the only way to give back to people. Money is the least satisfying thing in the world. Did you know that? And somebody out there just said, well, Dan, that's because you have money. I don't have money. I am flat ass broke. I got news for you. If you knew what was going on in my life right now, you'd be like, oh. No, anyways, my point is money does not bring you happiness. Giving away money brings me happiness, right? Making money does not buy me happiness. Giving it away does. But my point is that money is not what drives people. And there's somebody out there going, yeah, it is. Money drives me. Money's all that matters. No, it's not. It's significance of money. It's something you want to buy. It's the fact that you bought something on debt that isn't an issue, but it wasn't smart debt. Maybe it was phenomenal debt, right? I don't know. But you bought something that brought you significance because it raised your level of where you are. Oh, I bought an extra home. Oh, I bought a camper. Oh, I bought a plane. Don't buy a plane. Idiots buy planes. I'm kidding. I own one. It's okay. My point is like that whatever you buy raises your level of significance. It's not the money that gives you significance. It's the possessions or the stature of saying, I have this much cash in my pocket. I have this much here. I can do this. I can do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it. That's what brings you. That's what like drives you. That's what causes. It's not the money. It's the significance or the status that comes with that drives you. And so money is not a way you serve people. Really, it's really not. Time is more valuable than money. You can serve people with time. You can serve them by standing up for them, for advocating for them. I can tell you that the people on my team constantly tell me, Dan, I'm so glad that you advocated for me. Thank you for doing that. I wouldn't do it any other way. There's no way I wouldn't advocate for you. You guys are part of my team. Of course I'm going to make you look good, because when you look good, I look good. So it's my job to make you look good. It's your job to make me look good. And all of a sudden, we're all dressed up like beauty queens prancing around because we're all trying to make each other look good and we're not tearing each other apart. Do you get where I'm going with this? You learn to serve others and you'll serve yourself. Stop worrying about yourself. Stop trying to put yourself forward. Stop trying to be a taker of everything and start saying, how can I serve other people? What can I build that's bigger than me, that might benefit me, but is going to serve other people? And that's the key. That right there is the key. What can I do to give? So I've actually heard this phrase quite a bit. I'm going to have to look up the book. I'm going to have to find the book that it's in and read the books. It's going to be absolutely awesome. But it says that it's a phrase that says givers gain. And what it means is the more you give, the more you gain. We're going to pause for a drink from my awesome .docs Tumblr. dotdocs.com. Yeah, we're not selling these bad boys. You got to come to a live event to get them. Anyways, pause for a drink from that bad boy of my protein shake for lunch this afternoon. It says that givers gain. And what it means is that the more you give, the more you get. The owner of Hobby Lobby wrote a book, and Hobby Lobby went through some crazy litigation crap. You should read the book by him. It was awesome. And I think the book's title, don't quote me on it, but I think the book's title is Giving It All Away So You Can Get It All Back. And I gotta say that is so true, right? He didn't give his company away, but he had to give it all to divine creation, right? He had to give it all to the ultimate, to infinite wisdom, to God. He did. That's where he had to give it. And once he gave it all to him, all the problems, everything else settled itself out. He served him. He did it to serve him. He owned Hobby Lobby and owns Hobby Lobby to serve his employees. We started Eclipse DOT to serve our community. And now we want to serve the nation. We built .docs, dotdocs.com, to serve people who want to do compliance on their own but don't have the tools to do it. Now they can. Now they can automate it, right? I built the podcast, Leading from the Middle of the Pack, to serve you. I write my weekly blogs on crazy stuff from DOT to family adventures to serve people, to give them, number one, some entertainment, number two, some knowledge. I write a weekly devotional through God First to serve believers. GodFirstLifeNext.org. Notice I'm throwing all this stuff at you right now, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. We send out emails every single day to serve our community. And for the longest time, I said, I will never send out a daily email. Now I'm like, man, I can send out 2 emails a day because people are reading them. We're serving our tribe. We're growing our community. It's amazing. Wouldn't trade it for the world. I record videos. If you're watching this, I record this for you. for you, so you can see it for the people who love watching videos. That and I do some crazy crap, right? Like, oh man, this guy's so crazy to watch. He does all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah. I dress the same for me because I'm lame and I don't want to think about what I'm going to wear. So I always wear a t-shirt. It's always got a brand on it. And I always wear jeans. Let me see. Oh, you can't even see them. I always wear blue jeans. That's what I wear. I'm a blue jean guy. Whenever I own a building, you see that building behind me that's shaped like a truck? Whenever I build that building somewhere in middle America, who knows, probably middle America. Whenever I build that building, it's going to be a blue jean building. It's not going to be a suit, collared shirt, crap like that. It's going to be a fun place to work. Because I tell you what, slacks are gone. They just need to die. But my point of all this is that you can't be a taker. You have to give. You have to serve others. You have to give in order to get. If you want to grow in knowledge, you have to give your time in order to learn. If you want to grow and gain as a leader, you have to give to others. Now, I'm not saying you can't step on everybody else's hands while you climb the ladder to success and crawl on their heads and use them as stepping pegs and crap on them all the way down. That's not what I'm saying. You can get to the top that way. Will you be liked at the top? No. Will you be feared at the top? No. Will you be at the top very long? No. Not at all. As a leader, if you want to get your way to the top the quickest and the fast and the best, it's by giving. How do I serve them? Whenever I first started doing DOT for a company called Crossfire, an oil and gas company, they gave me the opportunity to break out of my shell and get into the DOT manager. Whenever I started doing that, you know what I did? I said, how can I serve this company? I can serve this company by getting them into compliance. Okay, how do I get them into compliance? By getting all the documents that they need in order to be there. But I got to go to each driver in order to get those. All right? How can I serve the drivers so they don't have to fill them all out on their own without me and mess them all up? Well, I could schedule quick phone calls with them and serve them by having casual conversation with them and typing the whole time they're doing it. And they don't think I'm paying attention. Then I print a 15-page thing and they sign it and it's all typed. And it's beautiful. And they don't have to handwrite it. Do you see what I'm saying? I figured out how to serve people and I was able to step my way up very quickly to the corporate level of a business. It was a very reputable, very good business. And worked through them and became friends with the president and his wife and still could call him a friend today, 100%. My point here is, and I'm going to wrap this up right now. My point here is that givers gain and you can't be a taker. If all you do is take from other people and you never give them advice and all they do is give you advice all the time, they're not going to want to talk to you and they're not going to take your phone call. They're not going to work with you at all through any aspect of it. Through any aspect. So, here's my key point. Here's my thing. Don't be a taker. Don't be that person that only takes. Be the person who gives 5 times, not twice as much, 5 times as much as you take. So if you take a penny, you better get back a nickel. If you take a quarter, you better get back $1.50. If you take $1, you better get back $10. I know that's more than 5 times. You're picking up on this, right? The more you take, the more you give. If you take wisdom from somebody, share it. If you learn something from this podcast, share it. Share it. Okay? That's what I want for you. I want you to be able to grow. I want you to be able to explode what you're doing and where you're doing it and and who you're doing it with. I just want you to be so much more than you used to be. That's why I do this. Trust me, I don't love hearing the sound of my voice. I hate seeing myself on video. It's right here. If you can't see, it's like right there in front of me, and you can see my eyes going to it once in a while because I'm super confident, dude, but I'm not super confident in my looks. I never got tons of compliments on how I look, so I know that I got a big nose. I'm kind of ugly. Thank God my wife is blind, and I love her to death, right? That's why I didn't get her LASIK surgery till we've been married for 10 plus years. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Don't tell her I'm not kidding. Okay. My point is that you have to give in order to gain, you have to give. And you have to be willing to give 5 times as much as you're going to get back. Because here's the thing. Here's what I don't realize. All right? Whenever I record this, people are getting stuff out of this that I don't know about. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because even though it takes a ton of time to do all this stuff, and my time is my most valuable thing in the world, I want to give back more. And doing this podcast, doing this video, doing these vlogs, doing my blogs, doing my devotionals, doing the daily emails, doing the social media posts, going to the live events, speaking on stage, all that stuff gives back. It allows me to share knowledge that not everybody else in the world has. It allows me to share enthusiasm. It allows me to share incitement. It allows me to share me with the world so I can give back more, so I can serve them at an even higher level than I ever thought possible. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, what are you still doing here? Why did you waste your time? What is your, are you a taker? Is that why you're still here? You're a taker? If you didn't like this, and you must be a taker. I'm kidding. What are you still doing here? If you did like it, give us a review. Share it. Let the world know what's going on. With you guys, we have a goal to raise. Okay, you want to hear my goal? I haven't told anybody my goal yet. Maybe I've told you before. I don't remember. My goal this year, it's over here. It's right here. Right here. 125,000 followers on social media throughout all my brands. That's really low. I know a lot of people have over 1 million followers very easily on social media. They might be a little bit more famous than I am, but that's my goal for this year across all platforms. Not on every platform. Add them all up. That's what I want it to equal is 125,000. But in order to do that, I need your guys' help. I need you to push this podcast out to the world. I need you to share my blogs. I need you to be like, dude, you should check out this guy's Facebook page. Dude, you should see his LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, did you know this idiot has a TikTok? Right? That's my goal. So, like it, subscribe, share, wait for the next episode. We'll chat with you guys later. Bye.